question that people ask is, what happened to the scores with a more restrictive criteria? And typically the scores just went down, or actually always the scores went down somewhere between, say, 2.25 points and 4 2/3, with an average of about 3.25 points. So that's not an insubstantial movement, although it's not like everybody's score went down by a half or something like that. How this actually would have affected the ordering of the results between sites and muck, it's anybody's guess, and you can't recreate it because you can't recreate the process of where people would have done their development, being guided by this new scoring criteria. Between the system states, though, over the whole 100 texts, we did get this behavior where one scorer would tell you that your score went up and the other would tell you you went down, or vice versa. It happened in 84 of the cases, or about 6% of these 1,378 cases. Some cases are very small, but others were quite significant. Now, I should tell you that when you're in the 55, 56% range of F-score, you've picked all the low-hanging fruit, right? You don't make changes anymore that make your S-score rise by 2 or 3 points. You hope to get 5 points of S-score out of making 10 changes that all give you a half a point each. You're getting on the tail end of the ZIF curve at this point. So this is a big number. So in this case, the old scorer would have told us that the changes we made were very negative, right? If the scorer told us that we went down by 2.3 points of S-score, we would reverse the changes that we made. Meanwhile, the new scorer told us that did the proper alignment, said we went up by almost a point. And of course, we would keep changes on the basis of that kind of feedback. Now, even more realistically, what really mattered is the 52 system states, pairs of system states that were consecutive. We generally didn't decide whether to keep changes we made or not based on comparing system 20 to system 2 or something like that. We would look at the last system checkpoint, make changes, and see whether whether our changes improved or decreased performance. So this behavior happened in 7 of the 52 cases. Again, we have an example where that's a pretty large magnitude. In this case, the old scorer told us we went down by more than 2 points. We undoubtedly would have reversed whatever changes we made. Where in fact the new scorer told us that we made an improvement, right? So we were probably making changes along these lines where we were getting rid of garbage and the old scorer was telling us that our score went down as a result. So we put that